intellectual minds employ themselves for the purpose of arguing things that are so inarguable.
Hey friends, thank you so much for joining us today on Untrained Reacts. My name's Jonny Hanson. This is my good buddy Andy Lamb. And Andy sent me a video. It's Bill Maher and Charlie Kirk. This is right after Easter. They do an interview. And, well, let's just watch the video and we'll react.
I'm just always fascinated the way really, really fine intellectual minds employ themselves for the purpose of arguing things that are so inarguable. It does, because it's almost like a challenge. Like, I'm so smart that I can make this thing, which is so stupid, seem like a real. I'm kidding.
No, it's fine.
No, but you get where I'm coming from. Like, I'm going to take something that is so anti-intellectual, even though I can argue like an intellect.
However, but you have to acknowledge, even the greatest minds of history have been mesmerized by the scriptures.
The part that really kind of gets me, there's two things he does there that are just the part that gets me. So number one, he says the way that these really intellectual people are so effing stupid. And then he goes on to say, basically make the comment of like, this thing is inarguable, right? You can't even make an argument, yet you're going to try to be intelligent, but you're going to argue for something that's inarguable. And it's like, well, you have to make an argument for what you believe as well, Bill, right? And so your belief system is that we just die and then there's nothing. And so you have no experience of that either. So you have to use your intellectual mind to make an argument that at the end of this life, there's nothing. And so I'll never understand, other than you don't know how to respond to people who have faith. And so your response is, I'm just going to call you a name and tell you that what you're doing is stupid. And that to me is the most unintellectual thing that you can possibly do. We see that with our comments from people online. It's just like, you guys are dumb. And it's like, that's fine, you can say that, but let's have an intelligent argument of why do you think that is. And I never ever hear anybody that's intellectual make an argument of why they think that what we're doing is stupid and why what they're doing is the right path.
So the question I would ask if I was sitting there also is, I would say, who defines the terms of intellectualism? He has a definition somewhere in his mind of what an intellect would be concerned with. Clearly, theological scholarliness doesn't fall into that. So what does? And then that's how you start to discover where his theories lie. So then as he starts to unpack his theories, you could start to question where his faith in those theories come from. And I don't hear that from people that speak with him. And maybe it's because they don't want to be confrontational. Charlie Kirk does a very good job here of pushing back.
Keeping us calm.
There you go. He keeps his calm. These are slight nudges. When he says it's stupid, he pauses him, says it's not stupid. Bill Maher, to his credit, then goes, okay, it's not stupid, but in a way that he's intellectualizing his own way of going around it. He's still being condescending.
Yes. And he's a comedian, so he has
he's a smart guy.
He's a very smart guy.
What Charlie Kirk then goes on to do is explain great scholars through history who've also been men of faith. And Bill feels secure in making such a statement that he does, because I believe this to be part of it is because it's Christians. I don't know, maybe he would push back on Buddhist sitting in front of him, or a Muslim sitting in front of him, or maybe a scientist that believes a different version of the Big Bang than he believes, shorter or longer version or something. He feels comfortable because he is in show business and he is successful there and has been successful without a faith. So then that kind of validates...
Which is even a faith in and of itself. In my belief system and what I can see, smell, touch, taste, and feel, what science has proven through over the years, and so much science has not proven over the years. So it's the idea that science and faith can't go hand in hand, which was part of Charlie's argument that some of the most brilliant scientific minds of our time have been Christians and Catholic priests that have come before that have used science to explain that God is real and how the evidence of God. And so for me, I think it's the biggest frustration is that a smart guy as smart as Bill will just go, you're
stupid.
You're effing stupid.
Right. Instead of, here's why I don't believe what you believe, and let's unpack a greater conversation, which, again, they might do that in the 2 hours they interview for, hour and a half, or whatever period of time they're together. It seems unlikely. I haven't seen a lot of videos of him unpacking
what he believes.
Right. Though I did hear an interview with him on Corolla where he went through his past and growing up with his parents and what his young life was like, and it sounds pretty godless. So I think he's had success on his own merit, and that can put a level of bravado in you that says, I've been validated for my lack of faith.
He's a self-made man, and so there's no need for God if I'm a self-made man.
Yeah. Well, there's us reacting. Once again, that was a video with Charlie, Kirk, and Bill Maher. He's Andy Lamb. I'm Jonny Hanson, and this was Untrained Reacts. Thank you for joining us. If you have an idea, comment. What do you think? Did you watch a video? It's going to play while we speak about this. If you have a different argument, maybe there's something we didn't think about, please respond and interact, at least attempt to interact with anyone else out there.
Like and subscribe too, if you would. All those things kind of help out our mission here too as well. So thanks for checking us out.
See you soon.